Alright guys, we gotta talk about it. Nappy Head Millie here. We gotta talk about this Mortal Kombat movie. I know everybody gonna be spamming in the reviews and stuff, but I have to talk about it. I wasn't, but I have to talk about it. Like, share, subscribe if you're just checking out my channel. But yeah, Mortal Kombat movie. I wanna go right into it. So, spoiler alert, if you have not seen the movie, if you haven't seen the movie or you don't like spoilers, click off. Just go away. Go away. However, if you don't care for spoilers or you already watched the movie, you want to confirm something, stick around, chill out. And these are my opinions. So if you don't agree with anything I say, you can leave it in the comment. Just keep it respectful. Keep it respectful because I read my comments. But I want to go straight. Let's start with the story. So my opinion of the story is they had building blocks to get to where they wanted to go, and it kind of didn't work out. A lot of things that were good in Act 1 doesn't transfer, and that's something that's going to be consistent throughout my review is Act 1 versus Act 2. Act 1, it sets up the scene. It has the Sub-Zero versus Scorpion fight, the Hanzo versus Bi-Han fight, and that was amazing. That was 7 minutes of glory. Like, it was glorious. 7 minutes of glory, right? So they set the precedence that there's the tournament, there's the Mortal Kombat tournament, and then it is said that they're on their 9th win. Outworld needs one more, but Hanzo's supposed to come back and shut all that down. Okay, it's a movie. Anybody that plays Mortal Kombat or knows the lore knows that's not what the fuck happens. But it's a movie. They're doing what they want to do. You get into Cole, which Cole sucks. Cole as a main protagonist he sucks so bad. I'll get to him when we get to characters. But we see Cole for the first time. You see Jax for the first time. Then the movie, it goes on. Jax loses his arms. You find out about the marking, which is an interesting way of doing how they get their powers. It's interesting to see, like, okay, this is how you're chosen for Mortal Kombat. So that was interesting. That was a good little twist. I at first I was like, I don't think I'm gonna like this. When I heard it and then I actually saw it and played, and I was like, okay, this is cool. So they go to the temple. They meet Liu Kang. They meet Kung Lao. Basically, Raiden sets a wall in between to separate Outworld from coming in and fighting the warriors. And then we get to Act 2. So I would say Act 2 kind of starts once that wall is down. You get the training. You done already met Kano. You done already met Sonya, etc., etc. Act 1 is good. Act 1 is good. Act 2, however, the story is where just everything crumbles. I don't like Act 2. The moment after Kung Lao dies, I hate after that the movie just goes to shit. And that's just me. That's my opinion. So we can move on from the story from there, because Act 2 story, I don't even want to go into it. It just like they had everything in Act 1 set up to be good, and then Act 2 was just like whatever. Right? Okay, so combat in this movie. The combat in this movie is amazing. I will give it that. Like I said, the first 7 minutes of the movie is amazing. I say the best two fights in the movie off the rip are the first two. Like, it's like the first two, and then Scorpion versus Sub-Zero before Cole jumps in. Like, before Cole jumps in, it was amazing. When Cole jumped in, it's like, okay, it's good, but it's not what it could have been. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Hanzo versus Bi-Han. Hanzo went off. The way he was taking out the Lin Kuei, he was dog walking. It was like dog walking. And then I love how they did Bi-Han versus Jax, because that's what you would expect. Like, Jax over here like, I've been on 6 tours, motherfucker. And Bi-Han like, and I got ice powers. I'm a cryomancer. I don't care about your 6 tours. I'm gonna take these hands. So I love those two. there are some fights, which is going back into character, that if you watch the movie, you know the fight I'm talking about. It wasn't even a fight. It wasn't even a fight. The fatalities in this movie were amazing. If I had to rank my favorite one, I have one that is funny, and then I have one that is my favorite. My favorite would be, I love the Liu Kang fatality. I love where he like puts his thing and he sets his hands on fire, and then it turns into the dragon, and then it eats Cabal, and then Cabal falls into this fatality. I love that one. The funny one though is when Jax killed Raiko. He looked at his hands, he said, yeah, these motherfuckers work. That shit reminded me of on Annihilation when he's like, damn, you barbecued his ass for some reason. Don't ask me why, it just reminded me of that. We can go into characters now. Now, let's get the elephant out the room. Cole, I said it, he's ass. Cole was so bad, they had to give him literal plot armor. And he still got his ass whooped with the plot armor. He still was losing with plot armor. Like, make that make sense to me. Like, I feel like Cole was in, I know who Takeda is, I know who Takeda is related to. But I feel like they tried to make Cole Takeda, and they also tried to make Cole the new Johnny Cage without being funny. And it didn't work. It didn't work. So Cole, you could, like, if your family would have died, I wouldn't have cared. I'd be like, oh, I don't care. Like, he literally lost to a regular guy. He lost to Arch Sentinel from Streets of Rage 3. He lost to Goro, and then he got plot armor, and Goro still was beating the brace off of him. He lost to Kano, technically. Kano was beating the brace off of him. Yeah, Cole just sucked. He lost to Reptile, technically. Cole just sucked. Like, that man was jobbing out like crazy. Speaking of Kano was the highlight of the movie. I don't care what nobody said. Kano, Cabal, and Sub-Zero were the three best villains of the movie. It was like, every other villain was like, fuck you. Kano made the movie. When him and Cabal got into their little argument, I loved it. Cabal was amazing for his little short. Like, they should have implemented Cabal more. They should have gave Cabal more. Like I said, Hanzo, Sub-Zero was the shit. Now let's talk about the heroes first. Now that I got everybody I liked out, I like Sonya. I like Sonya. I do like the plot that they had with her not having a mark and them saying like, "Oh, you're not worthy," even though she was probably the most worthy out of all of them. I like Sonya a lot. Jax. When Jax had the little arms and he was like, I can't do it. That shit had me crying. Jax had them baby arms, I was crying. Jax had some funny punchlines in the movie, but he kind of, Jax wasn't Jax. And that's kind of my gripes. That's my gripe with Kung Lao. Not Kung Lao, with Liu Kang. And a little bit of Kung Lao too. We know Liu Kang to be that leader. Like, I stand up no matter what happens. I gotta be a leader. I gotta be up there. It's like they gave Liu Kang's personality and gave it to trash ass Cole, dumpster juice Cole Turner that we don't care about. And then they tried to be slick with it too. They was like, oh yeah, this is bloodline of Hanzo, and everybody's like, we don't care. Cole sucks. He's like Cobra. He sucks. But Liu Kang was bad. Like, a lot of people like that like Liu Kang. I don't like Liu Kang in this movie because he's such, like, it's like he's still a kid. It's like he's still like, it's like he hasn't found that leadership role yet in any Mortal Kombat. Even in Annihilation, in the very first Mortal Kombat movie, he was I stand up on my feet no matter what happened. I'm up, yeah, we might be going through this dilemma, but I gotta lead. That's Liu Kang we know. Even Revenant Liu Kang was like that. This Liu Kang was like, I can't explain it. He didn't have that swagger. Same with Raiden. Raiden didn't have that. Raiden in this movie was like 10 times an asshole. Like, Raiden is already an asshole, but Raiden will give good insight. Like, this Raiden wasn't Raiden. I don't even want to talk about him. Kung Lao was amazing, but he did not have enough screen time to me. Like, I really think, and this is me, a little side plot they could have did with Liu Kang and Kung Lao was like, Kung Lao could have been pushing Liu Kang like, bro, you supposed to be tough, you supposed to be a leader. And it was just like, when Kung Lao, what happened to Kung Lao, it was like, I don't feel nothing. I don't feel why Liu Kang is sad, because it's like, you gotta step up, bro. Like, you're kind of the one that needed to be the leader, not Cole. The villains, notice I haven't really talked about the villains. Like, other than Kano stole the show. It's this one scene that Kano has when they first meet Liu Kang. And I forgot what he said something. He's like, am I gonna get powers? And Liu Kang said something and touches him. Kano looks at him, the fuck? Like, Kano, the little side shit Kano said is what made Kano steal the show to me. That's what made him steal it. The villains, Nitara did not need to be in the movie. Nitara was so bad. Listen, the part when Shang Tsung was like, oh, this is the Huntress, Nitara. And they introduced her. I'm like, oh, Nitara about to do something. She about to do some shit. Man, Kung Lao killed her in 0.5 seconds. Literally 0.5 seconds. She got the worst fatality in the movie. Raiko did not need to be in the movie. Melina did not need to be in the movie. Reptile, my all-time favorite Mortal Kombat character, best top tier, period, did not need to be in the movie. And Reptile was beating motherfuckers' ass more than anybody else that they fought. The only other person that was whooping ass as much as fucking Reptile was Sub-Zero. And Reptile was only in the movie for a minute, literally. Like, I give it to Cabal. Cabal was whooping. Cabal was, oh my god, Cabal went in. Like, I love them showing his speed. Like, Cabal was no joke in that movie. Shang Tsung was whatever. It's not my Shang Tsung. I whatever. Dog was not that good. So I really didn't talk. Let me see. Let's talk about the environments. The environments are, yeah. I wish they would have did more in Outworld. I do like that Outworld was like kind of like desert, nobody there, barren, empty. And I really wish they would have put more emphasis on Outworld. It's like all the emphasis were really on some, like, the ending was like unknown places. Like, they weren't like, you knew where there was. Like, when Jax fought Raiko at the end, or Raiko, whatever you want to call him, Raiko, I think it's Raiko. They were at the pit. You know what I'm saying? They were at the pit. It looked different, but they were at the pit. So like most of the major scenes take place at Raiden's temple. It was a town. It like takes place in Outworld, but it's not really Outworld. It's like little spots in Outworld. And then like I said, the little Easter eggs and stuff that they had thrown throughout the movie and stuff like that. I do wish they would have went more into Outworld. Honestly, I could tell you about my biggest gripes, which that's really one of my biggest gripes, is that they never really stuck to the source material. It's like they're like, oh, we want to stick to the source material, and didn't stick to the source material. They did a lot of fan service, and that's good, but they didn't really stick to what made Mortal Kombat. We know Mortal Kombat is a tournament, and I get that you're trying to skip the tournament scene, but let's say if I were to do it, I would have had like the first two scenes the way they had it. Reptile tries to come and kill somebody. Behind tries to come and kill somebody. Raiden interferes because they tried to put it like Raiden can't interfere, even though he's teleporting people to these different places, therefore interfering. I would have been like, okay, let's have it to where Raiden interferes, like, hey, you know, if you want to do it, let's have the tournament now. And then they just split everybody up, and then everybody had to figure out their powers in that way. You know what I'm saying? Like Kano found out he had the laser beams, and then now they're in Outworld, and now Sonya has to fight Kano to get that mark. She has to figure it out. It's like no help, no questions asked, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? That way they could have had more world and character development, because I feel like the major gripe that I have with the movie is that characters weren't developed. I don't care for Melina because she wasn't developed. I don't care for Reiko because he was like an idiot, and Reiko is not an idiot. Reiko really isn't an idiot. Like, it wasn't even, I don't even know who the fuck that was. That was like Meat or something. That wasn't Reiko. But overall, I have to give this movie a rating. I would give it, honestly, y'all about to be mad at me. If I was to give this movie a rating, I would give it a 6 out of 10. Maybe and that's being generous. I think while the action was good, there's a lot of fan service. I do think that the environments were decent. I think the story and the characters themselves hold the movie back. It is something to watch. I don't think it's as bad as Annihilation, but I like Annihilation. I ain't gonna hold you. Annihilation has so many quotables that it's good to me. I don't care what y'all say. It's this movie's the second best Mortal Kombat, but it's nowhere near close to the very first Mortal Kombat. The first Mortal Kombat is up here. This one is here, and then Annihilation is somewhere down here. You know what I'm saying? So I say this one is like, it's a huge gap in between the movies. So yeah, definitely if you need something to watch, I would say watch it. But if you're like thinking it's gonna be the Mortal Kombat movie, nah, it ain't gonna be the Mortal Kombat movie. It's just a Mortal Kombat movie. But yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. I'm out. Peace.